know certain things. But again, listening with intent is extremely important for any sort of learning. Be in the here and now, uh, which means there might be a lot of distractions around us. Some of us might be working from home remotely, and there are distractions like the mobile phones. There are distractions like family members, co-workers, or other things happening in our life. Just keep those distractions aside for a while. Feel free to take notes. In fact, I encourage you to actually have at least a few sheets of paper, because we would be requiring them as we go along in today's session. So make sure you have some sheets along with you. I also see that there are somebody who's on the video. May I request them to, you can go off the video so that you don't have to spotlight yourself. Also, when it comes to learning, it is very crucial that we are like a clean slate, or also called as
Let
be
me
like
check.
an be like an empty cup, right? So make sure that we are into the session with the intention to learn, with the intention to be able to understand what is
Miguel,
it
come now.
that we can take.
How far?
Now, I request everyone to please go on
Hmm?
mute. There is some background
I'm trying to do it.
noise
I'm
and
trying.
talk. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Also, we will be using the chat function in MS Teams extensively in today's session. So make it interactive. There would be times when I would pose questions, or there might be, other interactions that you can do on the poll. If you have anything that you want to contribute, please feel free to type it out on the chat box, or at times you could also unmute and contribute. Video is optional, of course. Like Safale said, for getting a better bandwidth, it is best that you can keep it switched off, and also keep your devices mute, whether you're on your laptop or your desktop or on your mobile or a tablet, and enjoy the session. Sit back and enjoy the flight, as they say, right? So what are we going to do in today's session? I have essentially what I've done is I'm going to give you four big ideas today, four big ideas about when we talk about habits. So we are going to first talk about and understand what are habits. We're going to talk about the surprising power of tiny habits, right? Then we will talk about how habits shape identity, and why goals are not effective. A lot of times in the corporate world or otherwise, there is a lot of talk about goals and goal setting. However, the new research that is emerging tells us that goals are really not effective, not the best way to get things done. So we will look at that. It's a little shocking, but we'll look at that, and also we will look at some tiny habits for massive impact. What are some of these tiny habits that can actually give us massive impact? So that's what we are going to look in the next about 45 minutes that we are together. Disclaimer, the disclaimer is I am no expert. I would tell you that upfront. I will be learning along with you. Yes, there is some reading that I have done on this topic, or I have collated some stuff. Some of it is, I would say, inspired. Some of it is original work, but I do not take credit for all of it. In fact, I will be towards the end sharing where some of the books that I have referred, and some of the material that I have taken, so you can have further reading. As a matter of fact, that reminds me, I also have a giveaway for all the participants who stay till the end. All the people who are going to stay till the end of the session are going to get a link to a book summary, a fantastic book summary in a form of a PDF, which you can keep with you and refer to it at any point in time. And that is going to be something that I will be sharing towards the end of today's session. So you will have to be with us till the end, right? So with that, let me ask you this. I hope you can see my screen. I am going to actually post a link in the chat box now. There will be a link in the chat box. What I expect you to do is essentially click on that link and answer a poll. It's a very simple poll that you would answer once you click on that link. So please look at the chat box. I have posted the link. Click on that link. It should open up a web page for you, and there would be few options, a question, and then some options. please select the option that best applies to you. And once you have done that, just type poll, P-O-L-L, in the chat box. Just type poll in the chat box once you have completed or once you have taken this poll. Please let me know once you have taken this poll. Ashok Jaiswar, I see that you have raised your hand. Sir, do you have any question or anything that you would like to share? You can unmute and please share.
No, I'm not getting the link because something coming on.
Okay, I have repasted the link in the chat box. I can see Shravan Kumar sir, Pradeep, you guys have already taken the poll. Thank you so much for that. Some more people, Rajiv, Atul, Deborah, Tilak, Sangeshwar, Madhusudan. All right, great. Many of you have taken
So
the poll.
Parag, I have a question.
Yes.
So I see the link, but when I click on the link, do I have to have a LinkedIn account for accessing that link?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You would need a LinkedIn account. So if you don't have a LinkedIn account, you probably will not be able to access the link. The link is in the chat box. Don't try to click the link that you see on the screen. You will not be able to open anything.
So can you share a link where I can still poll without a LinkedIn account?
So we don't have that, but that's okay, sir. Don't worry. You are not missing out on anything. All right. So thank you so much. I think we've had a good number of people taking that particular poll. It will just give us an idea. Now, those of you who have taken the poll, and if you remember the options, which option did you select out of the poll? Did you select option 1, option 2, option 3, or option 4? What was the option that you selected? You can just type in the chat box, please.
Option 4.
Option 4. Yes, I can see even Ganesh has put option 4. Yashpal says 3. Okay, Divesh says 3. Tilak Shetty says option 2. Sangeshwar says 2. We have Samar who says 1. Okay, Niranjan also selected 1. So yes, again, as we go along in the session, we are going to see what is the correct option, right? So thank you so much for all those responses coming into the chat box. All of you, Smita, Sachin, Anand Kumar, Madhusudan, Rishabh. I would also request everyone to please keep their videos off. That would be great. Thank you so much. And you can, the next question. All right. Now, what you see on your screen are 4 images. Okay. And here's my question to all of you. Looking at these 4 images, which image, and all of these 4 images are, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 written. So which out of these 4 images do you relate to or resonate with the most when you think about tiny habits for massive impact? When you think about this topic that we have today, tiny habits for massive impact, which of these 4 images that you resonate or relate to? Now, what are these 4 images? Image number 1 is somebody laying brick by brick, right? So creating a structure, laying 1 brick at a time. The second image is about a jigsaw puzzle and pieces of that jigsaw puzzle. The third image is of a drop in the ocean, all right? And the fourth image is 1 step at a time. If you want to kind of climb, let's say, the Mount Everest, we need to take 1 step at a time. So which one resonates the most with you when we talk about tiny habits for massive impact? So Madhusudan says image number 4, Prabhat says 1, Dheeraj says 3, Mansi says 3, I also have Amol saying 4, some say 2, 3. So yes, again, this is a completely an individual choice. Digambar says 1, lovely, wonderful, great. But if you see, Sarang, absolutely, Sarang says all 4, right? Wonderful. All of the above says Karthiangan, Rahul. Thank you, Rahul. All right. So what all these images have in common is, when we talk about, let's say, words like Rome was not built in 1 day. It took a while. right? So similarly, that image number one, when you are building a structure, we talk about laying one brick at a time and then going on from there, or building a foundation. When we are playing with a jigsaw, each piece is important. Even if one piece is missing, you will not have the entire picture of the jigsaw puzzle. It said that every drop, or a single drop, or drop by drop, we get the ocean. So again, from that perspective, tiny habits for massive impact does make sense for number 3 as well. And of course, the last one, 4, is every step is important. When we want to, let's say, even scale a Mount Everest, or we want to take any journey, the very first step and every step after that is equally crucial for us to reach our destination. And also enjoying that journey from the start to the destination. And there are times when, the it is more important to enjoy the journey than the destination itself. So I have here for you a quick quote from, a lot of us know this gentleman, Brian Tracy. And Brian Tracy says, successful people are simply those with successful habit. Successful people are simply those with successful habit. If you agree with this, type yes in the chat box. If you don't agree, type a no. Or you can be on the fence and you can type maybe in the chat box. So type yes, type no, or type maybe if you're not very sure. Lovely. I have some really, we have, like in these Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, there is this fastest finger first, or Kaun Banega Crorepati. We have a lot of people who are kind of very quick at it. Some people are at maybe. All right. That's good. And then as we go along, we will see, we have somebody saying a big yes. Who was that? I missed that one. Big yes says Sarang. All right, Sarang. Thank you so much. Would one or two of you like to, who said yes, would like to unmute yourself and share your thought? Why do you think this statement is powerful and true for you? That successful people are simply those who with successful habits. Would somebody like to just unmute and please share?
Habits convert thought to action.
Habits convert thought into action. Wonderful. May I know your name?
Gautam.
It would be nice. Okay, thanks, Gautam. So yeah, just when you are responding, it would be nice if you could just say this is so and so, and then give your response. Anyone else who wants to comment on this, because we have some maybes also. I don't see any no's, which is a good thing. But anyone who's got a maybe or a yes wants to contribute to this.
When you are successful at each of your habits, then you are more closer to the bigger goal which you are aspiring for. Each habit has the capacity to, push you forward or propel you to the higher realm where you want to go, where you want to reach.
Wonderful. And I presume that was Ganesh Shenoy?
Yes, please. Sorry for missing the protocol. I should have mentioned that earlier.
No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you. I just saw that flash on my screen that sometimes I am not able to see. All right, that's wonderful. Anyone else? We can take one more person. Yes.
Hello, Parag. This is Tilak here.
Yes, Tilak.
Yeah. So habits, as they say, like every drop makes an ocean. Every habit which you follow, it actually sets up your schedule and it gives a rhythm to your life. And you can actually achieve your goals step by step, if not at once.
Wonderful, Tilak. I think I could not have summarized this better. Thank you so much. That's lovely. Great contribution, guys. I'm just simply enjoying this. So let's talk a little bit before we jump in further. Yes, please go ahead.
Habit is like the practice and inbuilt quality. Like, so you have inbuilt quality, then automatically that drives to the whatever you want to do it. It takes you to right path, in fact.
I see. Very nice, sir. Thank you so much for that contribution. Tulsi, I see you have raised your hand. Would you like to contribute?
I think nobody can be perfect. So we all will be having some or the other bad habit. So I think first of all, I as a human being need to identify what is it that I want to achieve. And to achieve that, what are the habits that I have to cultivate? So for example, if I want to lose weight, do I have to wake up in the morning? Do I have to exercise? Do I have to eat proper diet? So
Right.
If you cannot have all the good habits in you, otherwise life will become actually really boring. So I think I need to identify what is my goal, and to achieve that goal, what are the top 3 or 5 habits that I need to cultivate.
Wonderful.
And work on that. That will be more of practical approach.
That's really nice, Tulsi. Thank you for that contribution and a virtual class for you. Thank you. I also see Gautam. Would you like to contribute, Gautam? And those who have contributed can lower their hand. Yeah, thank you.
So usually when you are thinking about a good habit, it puts a lot of load on your mind. The moment you convert that task into a habit, it gets into subconscious. So it can happen that it provides automaticity to the whole process. It becomes automatic. It doesn't need you to always think about it, because the moment you think about it, the more you'll find an excuse not to do it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Lovely. Thank you so much, Gautam. If there is a way for you to lower your hands, you could do that in the system so that, I know that I don't have to call you out again. Thank you so much for all those contributions. We have close to about 145 people with us, and great. This discussion is going great. But I want to take a step back. I want to just take a step back very quickly and try and define what is a habit. What do we mean by habit? Would somebody like to attempt? Either you can raise your hand, unmute yourself, and I can call out your name, and you could talk about it. Or if you want to paste it in the chat box, not from Google, hopefully, you can do that as well. So what is a habit? What do we call as a habit? We need to understand this a little bit before we move forward. So anyone, I see Jaya who's raised hand. So Jaya, please go ahead.
A habit is something, it's an action that we do on a frequent basis without much effort.
So an action which we take on frequent basis without much of effort. Lovely. Wonderful. Meda, please go ahead.
Habit is it is not a thoughtful act, but we do it as our naturally we do anything the act.
Okay, understood. So it is not something that you do deliberately, but it just comes naturally to you as like a second nature, so as to say. All right, wonderful. I also have Madhusudan Sharma. Madhusudan Sharma, would you like to please unmute and contribute? What is an habit?
Yeah, I think habit is a process which is inbuilt. It is inbuilt in a system, and then sometimes which tend to have that into a system, and it's a continuous process where you will be doing it, because it's a kind of a chain which is continuous process.
Lovely, wonderful. Thank you, sir, for contribution. Neeraj, would you like to unmute and please contribute?
Habit is something. Yeah, habit is something which you do daily, or I would say any activity which you make a part of your lifestyle, means every day which you do it in your day-to-day life.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Neeraj. That's wonderful. And we'll take the last one. I see Ashok Jaiswar. Would you like to unmute and please contribute?
Habit is the natural process we do knowingly and sometimes unknowingly also.
Okay. So it's a natural process that we do knowingly and unknowingly, says Ashok Jaiswar. All right, that's great. So can I just request everyone to kind of go on mute, as well as if it is possible in the system for you to lower your hand before we go to the next one. So simply put, and I think this was very beautifully put by most of you, simply put, habit is a routine or a practice performed regularly. And it is also, like some of you said, it is an automatic response to a specific situation. Right? It is said that we humans are creatures of habit. Right? Some of you might have heard of this, that we humans are creatures of habit, which means even when the detectives or investigation agencies are trying to prove something, or even in the court of law, they always look at, has there been a pattern of this person doing a certain thing? Because what we do or what our behaviors is or what our habits are, like they say, habits die hard, right? So habits are kind of deeply engraved, rooted into our subconscious. And it is so deeply rooted that even sometimes before our conscious brain takes over, our subconscious has already taken the action. That's how deep rooted habits are. And at this point in time, we are not talking really about good or bad of habits. It's just talking generally about habits. So once again, what are habits? Habit is a routine or a practice performed regularly, or it can also be called as an automatic response to a specific situation. Right? Now, when we talk of tiny habits, we talk about very minute level doing something on a day-to-day basis. And as we go along, I will explain this a little bit more. Now, what the research is finding out in the field of psychology, there's a lot of research that's happening around this, around productivity, around people who are successful. What they have found is that 95% of everything that we think, feel, do, and achieve is a result of an habit. In fact, for that matter, this particular topic is such a hot topic at this point in time that great entrepreneurs, great and successful people are actually now focusing on how can they actually get into the habit of, let's say, being creative, being innovative, being constantly up on the curve. So these are habits, or having a growth mindset. Even having a growth mindset is sort of a habit which can be developed. So again, 95% of whatever we do, think, feel, and achieve is a result of some habit that we have. Sometimes we are aware of these habits. There are times when we are not even aware of these habits. There are times, and especially on the lighter note, people who are married here will know when their spouses tell them their habits, so-called bad habits, which probably at times, the person is not even aware when somebody else actually is calling it out or telling that, okay, this is what you're doing subconsciously or without you even knowing, right? So yes, habits are something that are extremely deep rooted. Now, we are going to, here's what I want us to do. It's a simple activity we will be doing, for which you should typically have either a A4 size paper or even any kind of paper which is probably like a, this much. Just tear off a paper from your notepad and keep it in your hand. All you have to do is, I'll be demonstrating this so that you know what is to be done. So I'm holding this paper. I have folded it once along the long side once. Yeah, that is on the landscape side once. So all of you can please do that as well along with me. And I've just put a little crease. I've folded it on the long side, as you can see. And I again fold it one more time. So I hold it like this now and fold it one more time. Right? So I get a paper like this. Right? So it's kind of like a mini book. Just write 1, 2, 3, and 4. This book has 4 pages. This book has 4 pages. Just write 1 on the front, then inside is 2, this side is 3, and at the back it will be 4. Once you have done this, please type done in the chat box so I know you're ready with your little notebook, and I'm going to tell you what you need to do after this. In the meanwhile, I had Deborah typing in the chat box that habit is a mode of behavior that has been nearly completely involuntary. Thank you so much, Deborah, for that. That's a wonderful explanation. All right, I have a few people also. Okay, let me also read out what I think Manoj has written in the chat box about when we're talking about habit. It is a conditioning of mind and body done repeatedly over even helping others, being courageous, being optimistic. Yes, Manoj, thank you so much. So yes, if everybody has this thing ready, and I can see a lot of you, Leonard, Karthikeyan, Sachin, Abraham, Neeraj, Ganesh, Bharat, all of you have said that you're done with this. Mansi, Praveena, wonderful. Now, we are going to write something on this little book of ours. Here's what we will be writing. On page number 1 is going to be the title of this book. Now, the title of this book is going to be with a twist. The title has to be a name of a movie that represents your life so far. So the title of this book is name of a movie that represents your life so far. You could pick up any kind of movie. It could be a regional language movie. It could be a Bollywood or Hollywood, or any movie that is there that you feel is an apt title for your life so far. Once you have done, and very quickly do this, don't overthink about it, very quickly write this, and once you are done with this, I would like to see a few titles in the chat box coming in. And again, if you're comfortable sharing, there is no compulsion that you have to share this, but yeah, if you are comfortable. Oh yes, Satish, thank you. You could write a movie, or it could even be a web series. These days, web series are the ones which are, you know, in the talk of the town, so to say. All right, so we have nice ones coming in. Thank you, Gautam, Meeraj, Ganesh. All right, great. Yeah, Neeraj, you have raised your hand. Would you like to share something? All right, so we are done with page number 1. All right, let's move to page 2. Okay. That movie is not made which represent or relate to me. That is fine. That is fine. We can just leave it that way. It's not compulsory, like I said, but if there was one, you can definitely mention. Now, flip to page 2, that is inside the book. Write about the habits you are proud of. Some habits that you have, and this is not your alter ego. This is the habits you really have in reality. What are some of the habits that you are proud of? You just make a note of it. Typically keep it to about 3 or 4. Just write those habits. What are the habits that you are proud of? Quickly, I'm not going to give a lot of time here. Just think about it on your feet quickly. And just type finished in the chat box once you're done writing the habits that you are proud of. Just write it in the mini book that you have just created. Okay, habits that you are proud of. And again, we have said habits are definitely things that we do subconsciously and on a regular basis. So whatever you're writing, make sure these are things that you're actually doing on a regular basis. And when we say regular, it should not be once a year is not regular, or even twice a year may not be regular. All right, just type finished in the chat box so that I know we are good here, and we can move to page 3 very quickly. Page 3. Okay, some of you are sharing the habits. That's wonderful. I'm inviting all of you to actually also keep looking at the chat box, because there are some wonderful sharing that is happening in the chat box. On page 3, right? Go to the next page. Here we write, what is that one habit that you want to change? One habit that you want to change. Write that down. Just be true to yourself. I'm not going to ask this to you, but feel free to share if you want to. It's not compulsory, but write it down for me. Take a minute to write down that one habit that you want to change, or you've been wanting to change, and you've been working on this, or at least it is in your thought process that this is one habit that I'm going to change, or give up. Okay, my friend Monica says procrastinating. All right. I also have Pradeep here saying the same thing. Lovely. Now let's go to the last page of our book. Last page of our book. Here you would write what is or what are the habits you want to develop or adopt. What are some of the habits, and keep it to 3 again. Don't clutter it a whole lot. Keep it to 3 or 4. What are some of the habits that you would like to develop or adopt? What are some of the habits that you would like to develop or adopt? On page 4 of your tiny little book that you have here, just write that on the last page. Just type done in the chat box once you have done writing, so that I know you've done writing, and then we jump back into the session very quickly. Thank you, Neeraj, for confirming. Pravina, thank you for confirming that you're done. Okay, let's wait, give it another few seconds. Shweta, Sangveshwar, Yashpal, wonderful. Would somebody like to share, what came out of this activity for them? This mini book that we created. What has been something that came out for you while you were doing this, or at the end of this, what has been your thought? Please unmute yourself and feel free to share. A lot of you have finished doing it. Yes, please go ahead.
Kind of self-realization.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much, Tulsi.
Something.
Okay. Anyone else? I'm not sure if Neeraj has raised hand, or is it from previous time?
Yeah, I would like to add that what we are looking actually to do, and what we are thinking that we should drop it, or which of the habit we should leave it.
Right. Wonderful. Excellent. Anyone else? And then while we are, yes, please go ahead.
It is like, first thing is put the title, means what the project is, something like that.
Right.
And what all we have.
Yes.
Means the team, the strength, the weakness, what we have.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is that which we don't want to have in the team. And then what is that we have to improve, something like that. These are the steps I understand.
Absolutely, sir. I mean, that's one way to definitely look at it. But the bigger idea, and like some of you are saying, it's about introspection, because we are so much in the rut of day-to-day things. We think of certain things, but then we, again, somewhere, it just goes back because something else takes precedence. We are just putting out fires day in and day out. So yes, Monica says gap analysis. Wonderful. Great. So, again, Manoj, would you like to elaborate? I see something in the chat which says make our own story more beautiful. Would you like to share that a little bit, if that's possible for you to unmute yourself and share, Manoj Malhotra? That would be wonderful.
Thank you, Parag. What this little notebook has taught is that the first page is your story, the film which you relate with. And over that, you're just introspecting what is it that you're missing out on, and what is it that you want to add on into your life as a habit, which can make it more beautiful and more meaningful.
All right. Thank you. And I also have Krityangan Rahul, who's raised a hand. Please unmute yourself and share.
Thank you, Parag. I like to share that which we have to do and don'ts. Tiny things which we have to do and don'ts. That I understand.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Krityangan. Gautam, yes, I see you have raised your hand.
Yeah, Parag, I think one thing it helps to understand is that we should not have a life full of regrets.
Yeah.
So if you have good habits, and you can shed some old habits, some bad habits, and develop some good habits, then when you are older, you will not have a regret that, gosh, I could have done that, or I could have done that.
Right. So wonderful point you brought up, Gautam, is also there are times when certain philosophers and thought says that there is no good or bad. Sometimes it is all relative. But yes, we know that there are certain we have a moral compass which tells us that there are certain good and certain bad things, or certain good habits and bad habits, and we'll come to that. But at this point in time, without putting a judgment on that, we just look at whether there are certain habits that we are proud of, or there are certain habits that we want to change. So let's look at what really happens. When we talk about developing habits, usually, when we are working, I had also made a bold statement that goal setting is actually not very effective. But a lot of times, and tell me very honestly, and type it in the chat box, how many of you have ever actually, done a New Year resolution that you resolve to do something? It could be, making sure that I drink 8 glasses of water every day, maybe getting up in the morning and meditating, or reading a certain amount of books, or taking up a certain course, or something that you've always wanted to do. How many of you have actually done a New Year resolution ever and have been able to stick to it throughout the year and achieve results? Just be honest and type that in the chat box. Yes, if you've been able to, take a resolution and stick with it throughout the year. No, for that something happened and midway, maybe first week down the line, first month down the line, few months down the line, you gave up on that resolution. Atul says, first 7 days. Resolution done but failed to stick. Yes, Srinivas. That's exactly what happens typically. Thank you. New Year resolutions are a great way for us to give us a reminder that a lot of times we do a lot of these, we resolve to do a lot of things, but unfortunately it becomes a daunting task. And what you see on the screen is exactly that. What should really happen is like a straight line. However, what actually happens is a valley of disappointment, right? Fail to stick. Resolutions, especially made on New Year, are meant to be broken. Okay, Yashpal, thank you for being that on the lighter note. But yes, unfortunately, that's where habits come into picture. Whether it is a New Year resolution, whether it is something that you want to see a betterment in yourself, it's all about habits. How many of you believe that you are different from what you were yesterday? Right? If you believe that you are not the same person that you were yesterday, type I believe. Type I believe in the chat box. If you feel that yesterday you were a different person, when I say yesterday, it could be in the past, maybe a week ago, a month ago, a year ago, and what you are today. Right? You are a different person. There are definitely, yes, there are a lot of people who will agree, because even we have aged a day. All of us have aged a day from 24 hours ago. The cells in our body have changed. We have got probably new experience in these last 24 hours, which has also changed the way we are looking at the world. So yes, when we talk about tiny habits, it is about making marginal changes, right? When we talk about tiny habits, we talk about work in progress, or here the word actually uses work in process, and I will explain that just in a bit. But if we believe that we are in a constant state of beta, right? If we are in a constant state of beta, then we will always keep improving ourselves. If you want to predict where you will be, where you will end up in your life, as they say, all you have to do is follow the curve of tiny gains or tiny losses, and see how your daily choices will compound after 10 or 20 years down the line. Whatever you are today is a sum total of whatever the choices you have made or some of the habits that you have developed. It's a very bold statement, but if you introspect, you would realize that is what it is. So whenever we talk about any breakthrough moments, these are often the result of previous actions, which built up the potential and unleashed to a major change. Like, for example, we've seen an ironsmith and a goldsmith. An ironsmith hits the iron with a heavy hammer, whereas a goldsmith will be using a smaller hammer. But even when, whether it's a smaller hammer or a bigger hammer, when the metal actually breaks, let's say on the 100th hit of the hammer, it does not mean the 99 hits before that had no role to play. They also had a role to play before that massive change happened. Those 100 hits by the hammer onto the metal are our tiny habits, right? Because they contribute towards that massive change. And please tell me if anybody would like to take a go at the image that you see on your screen. What does this depict to you? What does this mean? This graph that you see about time on the x-axis and the result on the y-axis. What does this tell you? Anyone?
The power.
Yeah,
the power of
sorry,
compounding.
Absolutely, the power of compounding. Or yes, anything? Anyone else? Anyone else would like to contribute?
The reverse is also true.
Absolutely.
If you don't contribute for your own personal growth on a daily basis, change one thing for the better, then it is going to rust, and then it is a way to deterioration. So
Absolutely.
that is also true. So you have to be very conscious about what you are doing and take steps for the progress rather than being stagnant, which will be the way down.
Right. So this also is typically called as the law or the aggregation of marginal gains. The philosophy of searching tiny margins of improvement in everything that we do. Even if you're sending an email out, you're working on some spreadsheet, you're preparing a presentation, what are some tiny margin of improvement that you can do on a daily basis? That is what it is talking about. Right?
Yeah, let me just add in something here.
Sure.
So this is like improvement, for example, in a department or a process. If you gain improvement like small percentages, it will lead to a bigger or higher results. And that is not an, I mean, it can't be done at once. It is actually a step by step. It happens in a curve basis. Even the decline on the other side could happen. So it is like every percentage of improvement, it could be a improvement from all the people who are in the process, because improvement can't be brought by one person in a department.
Absolutely.
So
So
it's
it
a
is basically very
cumulative effort.
Cumulative, compounded effort. The effects of small habits actually compound over time. So on a daily basis, they might seem very little, or that it is not making any difference. But when we look at it over a period of time, maybe about 6 months or a year, it has compounded to a much larger one. A slight change in our daily habits can guide our life to a very different trajectory or a different destination. Making a choice that 1% better or 1% worse seems insignificant in the moment, but over the lifetime, these are the very choices that would determine the difference between who you are and who you could be. That's the one big idea that I want you to take away from today's session, that 1% better every day, or what we call as the law of aggregation of marginal gains, is what we need to focus on. Even if it is, let's say, even if it is weight loss and you're not seeing the kind of results that you want, or you want to read a book and you're not able to finish the book, that's fine, as long as you're making some progress or headway in the direction. And all of this can actually be seen in anything. Like some of you said, there is positive compounding in terms of productivity. Accomplishing certain extra task out of all the things that you are doing during the day. You carve out some time, 5 minutes, 2 minutes, to do something extra, and that can actually over a period of time impact your career. So we talk about productivity, we talk about knowledge, we talk about relationships, right? Relationships is again a big one where positive compounding can help. Giving time to our near and dear ones, or spending time with them, talking to them, can actually, or even reflecting back on our interactions with them, can actually have a huge impact even on that. But on the negative side, that is the decline, 1% decline every day, if we are not taking that action on a daily basis, can create stress, can actually give us negative thoughts. So
can I just intervene for
our
a minute?
Choice. Yeah.
I just made a quick calculation of, because I'm from the financial services side, that 1% compounding thing, it prompted me to think on those lines. I made a quick calculation.
Sure.
For a particular example, just 1% change is making a difference in the final valuation of 140 crores.
Wow.
140 crores, 1% change. Small calculation of 10,000 rupees SIP. I'm not trying to sell anything here, but I'm telling you, over a period of time, 140 crores is the difference.
Absolutely.
Can you imagine that? Yeah.
No, thank you so much for sharing that. And that's exactly what it is.
Can I?
Yes, please go ahead. I can see some hands raised. Please go ahead.
Yeah, Parag, I think sportsmen are the greatest example of theory of marginal changes, where they constantly compete against themselves. In fact, this theory of marginal change has come from the British cycling team, where they were, they were last worldwide, and they went on to win world championships. And that's how, each thing being changed. But one thing, of course, that I would like to add is it's important not to change too many things at one time. So it's that one little thing which one has to work at one time.
Yeah, otherwise then you would lose focus.
Absolutely.
You kind of, it's like, how do you, I mean, while I would not never subscribe to this, but how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So it's exactly the same. And tiny changes, that's what it is about. It's about taking those small little bites to finish off a huge meal, let's say. And as you can see, 1% worst every day over a year is actually 0.303 versus 1% better is 37.78. So that's the amount of compounding that you can see. And I think some of you, like very rightly said, can also be called as the butterfly effect. Anything that you do in one part of your life actually has an impact on the other parts of your life as well. So success isn't about being the best. It's always about getting better. And I think what ma'am just mentioned about that this example comes from the sports, which is very true. I mean, if you look at any top end sports person, they are competing more with themselves on a day-to-day basis, and even when they're out in the field. So it is about getting better, and it's not really about reaching a goal or a destination alone, which is what brings me to the next part of why systems are better than goals. So when we talk about these two things, that is system and goals, essentially when we look at systems, or rather when we look at goals, they are the result of what we want to achieve, whereas systems are about the process that lead to that result. So which do you think is going to sustain over a period of time? Is it going to be the goals or is it going to be the systems? Of course, it will be the systems, because systems will be there with us throughout our lives. Goals may keep changing. So typically, and I'll take a very simple example because somebody else said earlier about weight loss, for example. Now, weight loss as a goal is great, but if you can make healthy living or staying healthy as a system or way of life, that's much better, because you would have compounded that into gains such as, of course, ensuring that you are maintaining the right weight, or maybe you're eating right, you're sleeping well. All of that is happening as a part of that entire system. So again, one big idea that we should take away from today's session is definitely look at systems rather than just goals, right? Which is why when we focus on the system, we are focusing on the process and not just the outcome. And like it is said, keep your focus on the efforts and not the end result, because if you are focusing on the effort, end result is bound to happen. And have a system in such a way that you would reach your end result that you have thought of. Now, this could be eating healthy, which leads to weight loss, studying hard, which leads to good grades, or weightlifting, which leads to building mass. It's exactly that. I mean, tiny habits are, when you go to the gym, you do not directly go to a barbell of 100 pounds and start lifting it. You start slow. You probably start with 5 pounds, move to a 10, a 20, a 50, whatever that is. That's how you build your muscle. So again, when we talk about habits, tiny habits is all about building that muscle of ensuring that we are taking that step each day, 1% improvement on each day. It is focusing on the steps throughout the journey towards the goal and not just on the goal, right? And so I want to quickly take a few points here. Would you agree to this, that it is more about work in process rather than work in progress? And that is finish.
Yeah, it is in most of the interviews. I observed that, see, for example, there is a World Cup series or something like that.
Right.
So one match they won. When they asked that, they said we go by match, not that final match.
Yes.
We go by match according to the situation we play, and ultimately reaching the goal is correct. But match by match there is.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I want to invite a few people to actually either you can again unmute yourself and share, or you can type it in the chat box. What are some of, now that we've spoken a little bit and we have some sense of what tiny habits are, can you please type it in the chat box or unmute and share what do you think are some of the tiny habits that could actually potentially lead to massive impact? According to you, what could be some of those tiny habits that we can do? Like we said, 1% improvement on day-to-day basis. What could be some of those tiny habits you think of? So you can unmute yourself or put it in the chat box.
Parag, before I go to sleep, I will read 1 page of a book every day.
Okay, okay. You know, when you started off, I was just a little worried if you are saying that about the session. Thanks, Gautam. Read at least 1 page of a book every day before you go to bed. Wonderful. Rahul says reading, not procrastinating. So again, don't focus on the end goal. We're talking about tiny habits. Let's focus. Let's go, kind of go minute, go atomic, as James Clear in his book Atomic Habits talks about. Go atomic. Doing extra 5 minutes, deliver on the commitments on a timely manner. We are still at a 30,000 feet, guys. I think I want to tell you that please come down to absolute ground level.
I think
yeah,
30%, or rather maybe more. More than this, you will be able to cultivate your habits if you stop being lazy. That's the reason. That's a major reason why you don't want to cultivate a habit, because you are lazy to develop that habit. You don't want to go that extra bit and bring that change in yourself.
Right, right.
So,
and yes, sorry, go ahead.
That's the key thing. If you are able to overcome your laziness and adopt that change that you want to bring in your life, I think at least 50 to 60% you're there.
All right, all right. Wonderful. Yes. And that's where I think the law of inertia, Newton's law of inertia, comes into picture, especially for human beings, that we would love to be in the state of rest and not disturb. We love that comfort zone that we are in. So I agree with you, Tulsi, definitely. And I am also keeping a tight look at the time. I'm going to possibly take another 10 minutes to wrap this up. But yes, let me share what I feel has helped me immensely, especially in the past about, I would say, last 5 years. Since the moment I moved out of corporates, I started my own sort of training, consulting, and also some of these things have been with me for a little longer. From a defense background, Dad was in the seen how things happen in the courses. So one of the things is get moving. Now, what I mean by this is move yourself, even if it is 10 minutes, 20 minutes that you can go out, do some yoga or just do some exercise at home. It is going to help us in the long run, right? Because again, when we talk about tiny habits, one of the other things to remember is, the urgent versus important matrix. A lot of you might have heard of that. There is some echo I'm hearing. May I request everyone to be on mute? So when we talk about, tiny habits, it is not urgent, but important. All those things in our life that we don't think are urgent, but are important for us, are the ones where we should look at applying tiny habits. Whether it is about our health, which is get moving, spending moments to talk with our loved ones, decluttering, read something in general, as some of you said, even if it is just 2 pages, 5 pages, 10 pages, whatever it is, do that on a daily basis, because it becomes a part of your system. It becomes a part of your being. Save and invest your earnings. Again, something that we require at a point of time where we will no longer be gainfully employed. Sit still. Some of you have written meditate and things. So sit still, even if it is 2 minutes or 5 minutes a day. A lot of times when you attend these self-help courses and things, people say your life is going to change overnight as long as you do 1 hour of meditation every day. Boss, I don't have 1 hour every day. It's going to be damn difficult. Somebody might say you can't carve out 1 hour a day, then God help you. But the fact is, it is not something which is sustainable. But if I can start with, let's say, 5 minutes, I can possibly over a year go to maybe a 30-minute or a 40-minute kind of a meditation. So any of these are, tiny habits. Eating wholesome, it is going to have a huge impact on our health and overall well-being, mentally as well as physically. Reflect before going to bed. Spend 5 minutes, 2 minutes about reflecting what went into your day today. How was it? What is it? Some of the things that you learned from today. So here are 8 tiny habits I propose, but of course there are tons and tons of those that you can use. Decluttering is one habit which is from the aspect of also minimalism, because a lot of times our energies are trapped in things that we have around us. Decluttering is all about, if I was to, right now also I'm on that path, if I open my cupboard, there are stuff that's lying there that I have not used in the last 6 months. So the general rule I've started applying is anything that I have not used in the last 6 months, I would replace or get rid of it. I've either not used it because I no longer have a need for it, but it's just lying there, or I have something else that I'm using instead of it, right? An old handset. I keep thinking that in case this handset fails, I will use it, but it just is junk. So decluttering is actually not just physical, it also helps us in mentally decluttering and having clarity around things, because energy keeps getting trapped into things and our attention keeps going to things that are around us. So that's what decluttering is all about. I hope that helps you understand. And as this very intelligent man said, last 5 minutes, guys, we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Wouldn't you agree? Isn't it?
Absolutely.
We actually are, like I said earlier, human beings are creatures of habit. And over a period of time, the things that we are doing, whether it is right or wrong, and then we go into depths of all of this and how we develop good habits, how we get rid of bad habits, or how do we replace certain habits. We do get into the depth of all of that when we do a kind of an extended session that's beyond a purview, unfortunately, today. But we go into the depths and how we can use things like neuro-linguistic programming, or what are some of these step-by-step processes. There are multiple ways in which we can, even what you have written in your tiny book, the little book that you have, some of the things that you want to develop. We talk about that in our extended sessions. Before I go to the questions, I want to also tell you most of the stuff that we spoke today is essentially from these 4 books. Atomic Habits by James Clear, a wonderful book. I am going to share a book summary, PDF of this with all of you. I will be pasting a link of this summary. This is not a summary done by me. I found this and I'm going to share as a giveaway from my end towards the end of the session. So please stay back. Tiny Habits by Fogg, again, an excellent book which talks about something called as a habit loop. Definitely Google about habit loop and read about it. It's a wonderful thing. Then The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. In fact, James Clear's book is inspired by The Power of Habit. He himself has said this. James Clear as an author has said that his book was inspired by The Power of Habit. And of course, the world-renowned Stephen Covey's The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So habits are the core of our being and what we do, right? And sorry, some of this. Here's what I want to do. Last 2 things. I need some feedback from you guys. So the one way to give me feedback is to just go to menti.com, type in the code that you see on the screen, or I am going to actually just quickly paste a link in the chat box. Click on that link. It should open a Menti page for you. And it is going to ask you some questions about today's session. Would request you to give some feed forward. I call this more of a feed forward than feedback, because I believe that it is something that I can work on in my sessions to come. So quickly go to that, and I will also be pasting the link to another feedback that we want to do, the Vince's feedback. Please make sure you are staying with us till the end. Both the links are important to be filled. Please type in done once you are done with both. So there are two links in the chat box. There is one which is for Menti, and there is one which says getback.vinces.com. So those two links, once you have finished filling out, just type done in the chat box, and then I can go ahead and paste this, share this PDF summary of atomic habits with all of you. And also we can have a few minutes. I will stay back if there are any questions, anything anybody wants to discuss. I would be happy to do that. Harshit, thank you so much for typing that. So here's what we have coming up into our session. There are 2 pages on Menti, so make sure you fill in both the pages. Once you're filled with the first one, you can go to the next one. So 1 in the slider, 1 is the least and 10 is the best. Make sure you slide the slider so that you can, and also go to the page number 2 of the Menti. And in the next 2 minutes, I will be sharing the link to the book summary. It's a wonderful book summary. It's a chapter by chapter summary of atomic habits, some of the things that we've discussed here, and some of the things that can help you. All right. So somebody's asked me to paste a link. I'm not sure which link I have been. So could I know which link you want, ma'am? Sir? Let me share the links again. So if you go to menti.com, this is the link. You can just go to menti.com, put 11938994. And the other link I will just paste for all of you in the chat box. And in the next 30 seconds, I'm going to also paste the link for the book summary. So please stay with me, stay tuned. And if anybody would like to share anything, please feel free to unmute yourself and share about the session, about some learning, anything you want to contribute further. Would be happy to hear that.
Parag, hi, Gautam.
Yes, Gautam.
So you mentioned about how systems are more important than goals. So I was just wondering that in some cases, goals actually can set the direction to the systems. For example, if you want to make an impact on 1 million people, let's say, the goal itself is so energizing, so overpowering. And then you say, okay, to enable me to impact 1 million people, I must conduct 2 workshops a day.
All right.
And that will become a system.
Okay.
So I was just saying that in some situations, the goals itself can give you the energy, the direction, and the motivation, which then you can further, execute through your systems. But sometimes goals can themselves become very energizing, very empowering.
Right. I agree with you, Gautam. My only thing there would be, okay, let me actually ask. So some of you might have heard what Gautam said. What are your thoughts on that? Before I put in my thought, would somebody like to share their thoughts of what Gautam said? Gautam said that there are times when the goals themselves are such powerful and energizing that they give the direction to the system. That's what I understood. But any thoughts?
Yes, this is Ganesh here. When you have a large goal, it may motivate you, but then unless until you do those set of things on a daily basis, the small things on a daily basis, you will not be able to reach that goal. And sometimes, because of not being in that process and seeing at the bigger goal, you may be feeling overwhelmed. Right? A goal may give you a direction. It may energize you. It may make you passionate. But then you get blinded by that. Then you have lost the game totally. That's my personal, opinion.
Right. Also, I think, thank you so much for that contribution. Also, Gautam, what I would say here is, yes, goals do give rise to systems in certain cases, but when you have a very lofty goal, right? When we say it's a big, hairy, scary, audacious goal, we also break the break that down into smaller chunks. And to follow through, we definitely need to have some kind of a rhythm. So when we talk about habits, or when we talk about systems, what we are also saying is these are what we call as routines. These are what we call as rituals that are repeated over a period of time. So from that perspective, it then becomes a system also, that you're doing it on a regular basis, repeatedly, like a ritual. So
yeah, no, I agree with that. I was just saying that sometimes the goals can give you the direction and the energy, yes. And of course you have to then execute it through systems.
Right.
So
right.
I'm just saying that sometimes goals can give the trigger. Sometimes people have no goals.
Right.
If there's no energizing goal, then what will you do with the system?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you just aimless, then you are just aimless.
Right. Right. So definitely the idea is not that, but I wouldn't disagree to the fact that there are times when, again, where we build system is unless and until we don't have a goal, there is no point even having a system, right? So
I agree.
I understand. Please confirm if you were able to access the PDF. If there is a error, I would need to check very quickly before we end the session, and we can continue. If there are any other questions or discussion points, we can continue talking about it. But I understand there could be some challenge, so I'm just having a quick look at the backend.
We don't have access to the drive.
All right, I'm just fixing that. Any other feedback or any other discussion points? I probably would take 30 seconds to fix this while we have that discussion. Anybody would like to share some takeaway from the session today?
Parag, I have a question.
Yes.
Parag, see, habits are also pursuing excellence, pursuing perfectionism. When you start having too many people in your company with different age brackets, then there is a difference of way the people function. Say at my age, say 50 plus, I would be a perfectionist. I would inspire my team to pursue excellence and perfection. But a younger guy may not align with me. For him, a habit would be to just get the work done smartly. Right. And even if it is 80% of excellence done in time, he's pretty happy with that. Though for them it is a short-term gain. But right. How do you convince them to change their habits, to think long-term?
Excellent question, and that does happen. Because again, when we talk about different people, different thought processes, and especially when we talk about different generations, let's say the generation Z and the generation X and all of that. So I think that's where people sign up for the leadership and coaching program that Vinsys has. But jokes aside, I think that's where I think as senior people, we would need to actually possibly explain to them why having a certain rhythm of certain things, even in an organization, there are always rhythms. If some of you are from the technology side, if you have been, again, there is this concept in agile leadership or in Scrum that you have rhythms or sprints, right? Where you would actually do things over and over again, or have some kind of a regularity or a ritual setting. So we need to impress upon the younger generation about the value of why that is important. And again, using examples could sometimes help in terms of sports, in terms of even from the, I would say from the management field. Those actually help us then be able to impress on the younger generation. But again, that's just my thought. If somebody else has a better response to the question that was asked, please feel free to unmute and share. I can see that if you refresh the page now, you should be able to see the or download the ebook from the drive.
Thank you, Parag.
Thank you so much.
Parag, can you paste the link in the chat box, please? Is that okay? Because I'm not able to pull it out from the screen.
No. I had pasted in the chat box. I'm sorry if you missed that. Again, pasting it for you. Right, I've just pasted and sent across. It's a Google Drive link. Thank you so much, everyone. I think that's the time we have for today. It's been wonderful. I really appreciate all your feedback and your participation. It was a great session. Thank you so much. And please stay safe, keep shining, keep doing well, and wish you all the luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Parag.
Thank you, Parag. Yeah, thank you for the session.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Parag.
Thanks.
Thanks a lot, Parag.
Thank you. Thanks a lot,
Ganesh,
Parag.
have a